Tara, istoryahanay ta! Dear graduates of 2020, today, under new normal, I'd like to share the message that I gave last year to one of the schools in the city where I grew up. Limang punchline sa aking high school life. First year, punchline number one. Ang piso sa bawat noisy, merong may susulit. When I was first year, I was section 4 for the first, I think, 2 to 3 months. I enrolled late because wala kaming pambayad. I grew up in a very poor family. Ang aking nanay, labandera. Ang aking tatay, kargador. Fast forward, within 3 months later, nailipat ako sa section 1 because of my good grades, thank God. To my surprise, unang araw ko pa lang sa klaseng yun, pinagbayad na ako ng 5 piso dahil daw sa aking pagiging maingay. O eka nga, noisy of the day. But the most important thing about that piso collection every day is a big lesson in life. That paying the consequences of your actions is also celebrating something for future. Every Christmas, marami kaming handa. Well, anyway, kidding aside, it means we are actually being prepared to be adults in the future. That is the reality of life. To pay for our mistakes. Not necessarily literally, but pay in lessons in life. We will have to take ownership of our own actions by compensating the challenges in our life and also enjoying the work of our labor to become a better person. Second year, punchline number 2. Sa moving exam, walay kopyahanay sa Bisaya pa. My most favorite type of exam that requires identification and definition is called the moving exam. This is when one gets to move literally from one space to another to answer each and the following question. What is good about it is the sense of being responsible to really study and to be solely accountable to your own actions. That is, be independent. Real life outside will require you to do so. Fast forward in college, my professors noticed that every examination day, almost most of the exams are essay types. I will always sit in front. Or, as well, I always often to finish the exams first. There's actually a lesson behind that. I joined a quiz bee before and I won. However, the audience were not happy. They believed I cheated. My coach even confronted me and seemed not happy about it. But deep in my heart, I know I did not. The problem was, I was so tense that I kept on moving my head left and right. And because I have big eyes, it looks that way. And I look like I cheated. After that incident, and even up to now, every time there's an opportunity for me to focus, like taking exams, I always sit in front and not at the back or not in the middle of my other classmates and colleagues. Because that also gave me very good lessons of self confidence, discipline, in being sure of myself without doubts. Just me in front of the room. Third year, punch number 3. Bahalag tanggal sa honors list, basta best in values. In 1998, I was third year high school then. Natanggal po ako, I was out of top 10 in class. To be honest, I did feel bad at all. Because this was also the year where I had so many extracurricular activities and I had the opportunity to do the region, and the country as a whole. I was always out during chemistry class. I had my peer education, I had my theater arts, my school paper, and my student council. I had so many extracurricular activities there. I didn't bother for as long as I passed the exams. And that's what's important to me during that year. But what was so interesting is that I was awarded as best in values. Best in values ako during that time. Natawa ang aking mga kaklase, hindi makapaniwala. Maraming mga gurong nagtaka, may nagalit pa nga. And some even question, why would I be best in values? My values teacher, or GMRC o elementary pa, told me this, and I will always remember this one. The award was not about being the most polite or the kindest follower. The award was not for the perfect attendance, and the award is not for the most quiet in the classroom. It is for someone who will always find way to assert and protect his or her rights and the rights of others without stepping on to others' rights and dignity. It is for someone who can question and ask hard and difficult questions. Like simple, why do we need to wear daily uniform? Why would a boy, high school boy, need to have 2 by 3 haircut? And how is it connected to being a good student? Lesson there is just to say, never be afraid to fight for your rights. And never be afraid to have a different opinion. And experience other things. Even if it will mean losing important or something that's important or something that you've been accustomed to. Don't be afraid to be unpopular. For as long as you have calculated the risk and you believe there are other rewards after that. Just push and push. Slowly, through and also building allies and friends and positive influences and relationships by respecting the wisdom of the others. By being able to experience different things, you attract the another side of success. A success of discovering things beyond your limits. Fourth year and fourth punchline. I think the strongest punchline that here. Labandera ang nanay ko, wala kami pera, pero hindi ako mahirap. That's my punchline. If you remember, a video of a child who was studying outside the famous fast food chain became viral. Actually, the video is so big. It kicked me really deep in because I have actually experienced the same thing. As I said, we live in a very poor condition with a very poor family. When I was elementary to high school, oftentimes we don't have electricity. Oftentimes, we tapped electricity from our neighbors and even tapped for water. Most of the time, if we can't pay the electricity bill we tapped, we used gasera. And in order for me to study well, I will have to go out of the house and go to Burger King. Ewan ko kung buhay pa. And study there. Good thing there is light and a free burger from the crew who are actually amused of me. And to be honest, for a poor child like me, surrounded by some middle class and some wealthy friends and mga kapitbahay, minsan nahihiya akong isipin na ang hirap-hirap ng ating buhay. Don't get me wrong there. Sometimes we become denial and sometimes we are ashamed of that. I must admit, I had few moments, if not many, where I kind of like denial of my own poverty. But really, I believe I'm not poor. I'm rich, but in different way. And here's why. On the day of our high school graduation in 2000, immediately after I received my diploma, I walked downstairs and one of my teachers approached me and hugged me and said, Nest, they call me. Noy, poverty is not a hindrance to success. And she hugged me, really hugged me. To be honest, it wasn't the first time that I heard her that, but the emotion was so intense and real that until now, I can still remember that moment. Life is very difficult, as I have mentioned. I came from a very poor family who is actually struggling to meet needs for a day, every day. But truly, poverty is never a hindrance to success. For me, more than that, the lesson I would like to give to those who are struggling with poverty like me is never to attract poverty on your side. Luwakli mo siya. You will have to accept, but never to keep attracting it back. Because we and you and each one of us can actually focus on the richness that we have. We can find the treasure and richness within ourselves, in that we can provide for our needs. These richness are innate to us. These are our talents, our time, our attitude, our behavior. Therefore, the Lord is finding and attracting intangible wealth amidst material poverty. If your poverty comes from the lack of material things, then it is just temporary poverty. We have and you have to focus and capitalize on the other things that you are rich. As I said, talents and skills. Attract wealth by using this. And never say that you're poor because you are not. So what are these four punchline for you today? Today, you don't just move on to next year. You also move up towards adulthood and also moving on with your life. Eh, hirap mag-move on. And adulting is real. It is hard, but it is also very, very good. Your generation is a generation where everything is very fast and instant. These have both positive and negative consequences. You will have to learn how to pause and reflect really a lot. Ask yourselves, what do you really wanted to achieve in life? And how would you like to be remembered? And also remember, never compete with anyone else except yourself. Your group belongs to the adolescent group, the 10 to 19 years old. We call you the second decade of life, ang pangalawang yugto ng buhay. In the Philippines, you are 30% of the population. The greater challenge is for you to understand that these figures as you move up. You will be adults very soon. And as early as now, you will have to take on that responsibility and accountability by doing small and little steps, good steps as a time. For you today, the choice is yours. You don't have to be the most intelligent or the richest and the most beautiful or handsome person. You just have to be responsible, kind, disciplined. We don't have to race among each other, but rather carry each other. In closing, I'd like to share this message. Admiral William McRaven once said, if you can do little things right, you we will never do big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, we will come home to bed that is made. And a made bed gives you the encouragement that tomorrow will be a better day. To the graduates of batch 2020, 2020, congratulations. And may this pandemic